In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use Echo 3D as the cloud backend so you can import new assets through the cloud, even on open source and finished projects just like this one. This is the open source project that we forked. It is a racing car game, and just to give you a quick preview of what's going on in the scene, this is it. So we're going to swap out these 3 cars. For this project in particular, I found this really cool model of a race car. I found 2 actually, but I couldn't find another matching one, so I wanted to create a variant so that we could have 3 cars to replace the assets for this race car game that we have, right? So if you click on the model editor and you go over here to the palette, you'll see the option to create a variant. So I'm just going to give this a name very quickly, and we're going to go down here and experiment with the materials. So I want a red car. I'm going to go through and look at all of the different parts of the model and figure out if I like how that looks. And I think that looks fantastic. So we just did the left side. Now we're going to do the right side. And you know what? Let's do a little bit more. Maybe we can do the top. We'll see how that looks. Can anything ever really be too red? Not really. So let's turn this up and we'll make it red. That looks great. Yes, so we're going to go back to the first tab, and I'm going to export this to console because I want to create a completely different model. So once you do this, it's going to give you a notice, and it's important that you make sure until you get the notification that the export is complete. What we're going to do is we're going to swap out these 3 car models. You can only see 2 because we already swapped out one of the models. And the models are not really bad looking cars, but we want to upgrade them. And we want to show you, of course, the Echo 3D functionality. We ended up finding these really cool models on Sketchfab. So we're going to pick 2 of them, and then we're going to create a variant of the other. So all in all, we're going to have 3 cars. I'll show you what we did with the first car, and then we're going to duplicate that on the yellow and the red car. For the blue car, we ended up adding the Echo 3D hologram prefab. You can do it this way, or if you wanted to, you could just add the Echo 3D hologram script directly on the object. That works exactly the same way. Okay, so let's go grab our API key and the entry ID. So your API key is going to be at the top of your project. And then we're going to copy the entry ID for each content card. And we've added them over here. So we're going to use editor preview because we just want to see what it's going to look like before we run the experience. So if you check that box and you go to the top and under Echo 3D, click load editor holograms, you'll see them start to materialize. And you'll also see that object as a child of the hologram prefab. So just give it a couple seconds. As you can see, the model looks fantastic. And now let's get started on the other cars. So we'll go do the yellow car next. Under the yellow car object, we are going to grab all of the other components, all the children, and turn off the mesh renderer. And we're going to go to do the same thing for the red car also. We're just going to check the mesh renderer box. And for the API key, we know that it's going to be the same project, so we'll just copy it from the blue car. Now let's go get the entry IDs for both the yellow and the red cars. And now let's go get the red. Okay, and save. Let's run the experience and see how this goes. Perfect.